Hey everyone, and welcome back to Future Ready Insights, the show where we unpack the real-world impact of artificial intelligence, from life-changing innovation to the weird, wild, and deeply ethical. It's great to be back. I've been unwell, unfortunately, with a nasty virus the last 3 weeks, so I'm sorry there's been no podcast. But this week's episode is packed full of emotion, controversy, and some real insight to how AI is reshaping society, whether we're ready or not. So let's dive into what's been making headlines in the world of AI recently. And if you just discovered the podcast, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us. I know I keep asking people to do that, but please do give us a like, and that you just don't appreciate actually how much that really helps spread the video to more people. So let's kick off, and I'm going to set the scene here. So imagine being in a courtroom and the victim of a murder case stands up to address the man who killed him. How is that possible? Well, it kind of happened in Arizona. A man shot in a road rage incident and returned, in inverted commas, through an AI-generated video to speak to his killer during sentencing. So the video used old footage and voice synthesis to let the victim deliver what was considered quite a powerful message from beyond the grave. The full details are in the link below in the show notes, so do have a check out the story. But this use of AI is obviously emotionally powerful, but it raises some really tough ethical questions. So who gets to decide how a deceased person's likeness is used and the words which are said? And it's a whole new frontier for AI in the legal system, and a bit of a warning about where deepfakes could go next, whether for better or for worse. Next, Lisa Kudrow, remember Phoebe from Friends? She's been in the news recently. She's been calling out the use of AI, particularly about de-aging, about Tom Hanks's new upcoming film called Here. She's obviously not a fan, according to the article, and honestly, there's quite a lot of actors that are nervous about the use of AI. So AI now being able to de-age stars, so make them look a lot younger, recreate performances, generate new actors from scratch, and even create like a Hollywood film just from your laptop. So, what happens to the real people who make Hollywood tick? And will this affect like how we watch film in cinemas? Does it really matter that maybe some of the future Hollywood stars are going to be AI generated and not real people? So this isn't just about vanity or nostalgia. The issues sort of being raised here are about job security, IP, so intellectual property, and the heart of human storytelling. That's the reason why we go to watch a film. So AI might save studios money, but at what cost to creativity? And that creativity question is a big one this year. So we've heard a lot of news about the music scene also being affected by AI. Let me know what your thoughts are. Are you really that bothered about seeing an AI actor or people being de-aged? Our third story of the week is about politeness, and an interestingly lighter but oddly revealing story. So the recent article asked, does it cost you anything to be polite to AI like ChatGPT? But it turns out for us as humans, not really, but to OpenAI, it apparently costs tens of millions of dollars. It's really fascinating peek into how humans humanize AI. So about how we talk to these AI large language models. And so people do add a lot of please and thank you. I do. Please and thank you, even when they know that the system really doesn't kind of care. So it tells us something profound, that that we treat large language models the way that we treat people, whether or not they deserve it and whether they're really real people. And honestly, it does shape, in my opinion, how we expect machines to behave, or even how we treat each other. So in a way, this is quite a nice thing that politeness still really exists. In the same article, there is a report that estimates that ChatGPT, asking it a question, can cost about 10 times the amount of electricity that asking Google the same question would demand. It's interesting about the question about sustainability. So the fact that using ChatGPT is costing so much more in terms of resource. Can the planet really afford this growth in AI? That's all we've been hearing now for the last 2-3 years, but now we're hearing more and more about the sustainability problems of the amount of electricity and the amount of water that's needed to cool the servers. So I think it's a question that we're going to start to hear a lot more, and maybe potentially might start to see some limits. Not saying I've read anything about that, but it's like, we can't carry on this way, so something's got to give somewhere. Interesting story next up. talks about how AI behaves. OpenAI recently released a blog post addressing the problem they've seen in GPT, which is sycophancy. Apparently the model was just being too agreeable. It would echo the user's opinions or praise them just so much just to keep the conversation smooth. So it isn't just about being annoying. This actually can be quite dangerous. So when AI tells you you're right, it's reinforcing biases and can make misinformation worse. OpenAI working on it, and I believe that the version has now been rolled back to stabilize that problem. But it's an interesting reminder that we really don't need AI to flatter us, but we should have it to challenge us, but, respectfully, of course. Next story, a big business move here about Apple and Anthropic reportedly teaming up to build a new AI coding platform. So this comes on the back of news that Apple's really sort of got a bit behind really in the AI race. But this collaboration sounds like a bit of like a GitHub Copilot meets Siri, but on steroids. If the collaboration works, it really could supercharge how developers work across Apple's platforms and maybe even bring AI-powered coding to everyday users. It's a really big topic. We've seen a lot mentioned about sort of coding and the platforms. I should mention that most of the other now handle code, and I think even can preview code, even what it looks like. I used Manus for the first time last week, which is MANUS. I will put a link in the show notes. Do check that out. Literally, I just uploaded a PowerPoint and it created a website in just a few minutes just from that PowerPoint, and it was really good. So some of the stuff that you can absolutely do now is just amazing. The sort of final story of the week here is that Visa, they're rolling out a new AI-driven shopping platform called Find and Buy with AI. So this is about more than just smarter search results. So Visa wants to personalize our shopping experience across all devices, powered by real-time data and AI suggestions. So is this convenient? Well, yes. Is it creepy? A little bit, because we're being watched here, but it shows that AI isn't just in the lab anymore. It's in your wallet, it's everywhere. It's in your browser and your everyday choices. So do have a read of that story. It's in the show notes below, along with all of the rest of it. So that's it for this episode of Future Ready Insights. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe, share, and drop us a review. And if you've got a question or a headline you'd like us to explore, you can email us at futurereadyinsights@dukeofdigital.com. The link's in the show notes below, and we'd love to hear from you. Have a great week ahead, and voice all being good, I shall speak to you next week.